Hi, my name is Mia Ramirez, and this is my movie review on Blue is the Warmest Color. So this is the article I chose. It was written by Glenn Kenny, who is an American film critic and a film reviewer. This is Glenn Kenny at the bottom. This review is posted on October 25th, 2013, and it was posted on the roberteckert.com website, which is a website where critics post movie reviews. There's a lot of different other websites for a bunch of different movies, and it is very influential and important. And if you are looking for a movie review, it's a good one to look at. This is a little summary about the article that I read. The first paragraph starts off with an introduction of the film and both of the main characters, Adele and Emma. Then Kenny goes in to further discuss Keche, who is the director's ability to portray sexual ecstasy in both the sex scene and the foods that are eaten in the movie. Kenny mentions and talks about one scene in particular where Adele and Emma are eating oysters, and he notes the scene as being almost sensual in a sense. And then Kenny goes on to describe the performance of the main leads and how it contributes to the overall transportive quality that the movie has in itself. He goes on to talk about the main leads and how they are they're very can tell their romance. They have a lot of chemistry on screen chemistry, and it's very important in documenting and showing this is a romance movie, and just adds to the overall movie in general. Kenny then comments about how Ketchy did not really depict the homophobia that Adele felt, which strikes him as odd. There's a bunch of different scenes that he could have, but he just didn't choose to. And then Kenny then makes comments about how the male gaze affects this movie, in particular, talking about the 6 minute sex scene, and that their movie is directed by a straight man with straight actresses, and how Kenny may have done well with showing a love for the female form, as he calls it, but he also does mention that the director Kechi may have gotten a little carried away at certain points in the movie. And then we're going to talk about genre. Kenny labels this film as a drama in the original post at the top, but also discusses how no other romance movie has been as innovative as this one, even if it has a similar subject matter. So even if other romance movies talk about lesbians or queer people in general, none have done it as well as this movie has. He also makes it clear this movie shows first love and first betrayal between characters, which is a common trope in romance movies in general. Next, we're going to talk about the form in the movie. Kenny mentions a particular scene in which Ketchy shows Emma and Adele walk around and look at the backsides of female sculptures. And Kenny theorizes that this is Ketchy's showing appreciation for the female desire, and by showing female beauty in art in particular, showing these particular scenes where the backsides of female sculptures are portrayed. It's very obvious and very noticeable. It's what you want. What's what the director really wants you to focus on in these scenes. And he also continues to talk about how a lot of the emotions come from the acting jobs of both the main actresses and how they are able to have such on-screen chemistry together. Kenny goes on to further comment and call this their commitment exuberant. We can't talk about this film without talking about how it is an adaptation. Is an adaptation from a graphic novel, also by the same name, Blues Warmest Color, by Jules Moreau. Kenny touches on how this film was originally a graphic novel and how the director chooses to emphasize particular details. One of the main things about this movie that people should know is that it is 3 hours long, which is significantly longer than it takes to read the graphic novel itself. But this is because Kechi wants to really immerse the audience, and you need to have these 3 hour long movies in order to fully immerse the audience in exploring these any particular themes and really wanting to show the audience what it is actually like to be fully in the movie itself. Kenny notes this in his article about how it is much longer than the original source, how the length of the movie adds the full immersion of the audience. Now we're going to talk about my opinions on the review. I personally have mixed feelings about the review. I think some of it I do agree with, and some of it I don't. Some of the things I don't agree with is how Kenny discusses the male gaze issue, where how he believed Kitchi was trying to show off the idea of female beauty. I personally think it could have been done in several other ways, and that seeing a straight male director do it in this particular way is very odd, and it kind of makes me a little uncomfortable. But I do agree with Kenny in some respects about how it is odd that Ketchy didn't discuss the homophobia aspect more, especially in how it differs from the graphic novel itself. I think the director really could have focused more on the homophobia in the original source and not strayed away from that because I do feel like it is an important step in the movie. And thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed.